Guys, I want to talk to you about grip here. We're going to look through the chapter on the Masterclass. You're going to see a few things on the grip. I'm going to add a few more things on the grip that I'm going to go over here right now. So the first thing is we want to understand the terminology. So if I'm right-handed and my right hand is underneath the club, that would be a stronger position. On the side, neutral. On top, weaker. All right, now it's the opposite for the lead hand. So on top would be stronger. Underneath would be weaker. So those are the words that we use. Doesn't mean grip pressure, just means position on the club as it relates to the club face. So what you want to find out is where your trail hand needs to go. That's pretty easy. You might not like it when you find out, but that's what you want to find. That's what we want to determine. The other hand might change based on the ball flight you're trying to achieve, or it might change based on the shot you're trying to hit. So the first thing we want to do is establish what the trail hand is going to be on the club. So we're going to get in golf posture, we're going to get our hands down together, and we are just going to move into a backswing, let the trail arm fold. So my right elbow is folding, trying to keep my chest very still, keep my sternum from moving, and so that is where my trail hand's going to be. It's slightly pointed down. So if it was here like this, we would want it on the neutral grip, right on the side of the club. If it was here like this, we'd want a stronger grip underneath the club. And since mine is a little bit downward, a little bit on top, my right hand's going to be a little bit on top, a little bit in the weaker position. So that's what I want you to do, and that's how it's very important, because what I'm going to show you is a few different training aids. You know, this is the hanger, and depending on your grip is depending on how you want to set something like this up. So for me, again, a little bit on top of the grip, that crease kind of pointed at my sternum, club face square, and I get this grip with my left hand a little bit stronger on top as well. This hanger should be on my right forearm. And then as I swing, I'm going to try to get it on my left forearm and maintain that through the strike. If I was somebody with a stronger grip, stronger right hand, and strong left hand, it would start on my left forearm. And we would just try to maintain that throughout the swing. So it's important to understand your grip to be able to use some of these training aids. Now, one more. So we got the trail hand G-snap here. This one I like to feel because it gives us we know what our hand's gonna do, what our wrist is gonna do. Let me just grab I'm gonna use this forearm grip club. So my hand's gonna be a little on top. So now when I swing that club, I hear that snap, and just as I move it through, as I just let it quote unquote release, that face, it feels very square, it looks very square. If I hit shots at this pace, they would be very straight. So I like this device because it allows me to feel what that trail hand needs to do, and then I certainly don't want to hit the ball here or here. I'm going to hit the ball towards the target. So make sure you know where your right hand, where your trail hand needs to be. And it's important to always be aware of that club face when you're working on that. So I like to get up to a flat edge, put the club face there, and then get my grip. So for me, as opposed to kind of leaning the club forward and then getting the grip, because that would be very awkward. That would be kind of getting it way too weak or strong, depending who you are, or leaning it back and then getting the grip. So I like to keep the shaft as neutral as possible. Not going to be the case if you're using a 60 degree with the wedge, of course, but I like a mid-iron as neutral as possible. Get that sole and get the face up to a leading edge, and then you can work on your trail hand wherever that needs to be. So let me know if you have any questions on that. Read up in the online masterclass. There's, again, goes over that terminology again, but that little bit of a tip of setting up, hands together, and just moving your arms back into a backswing, that's going to tell you where you need to be.